A serendipitous meeting. In the bustling city of New York, amidst the sea of hurried footsteps and honking cabs, two souls were destined to meet. Emma, a charming bookshop owner with a love for poetry, and Jack, a talented architect with a penchant for coffee, crossed paths one rainy afternoon. Emma's bookshop, the Cozy Corner, was a haven for book lovers. Located in a quaint corner of Greenwich Village, it had become a beloved spot for the neighborhood's residents. Shelves lined with books of all genres, cozy reading nooks, and the scent of freshly brewed coffee created an inviting atmosphere. The walls were adorned with vintage posters of classic novels, and fairy lights hung from the ceiling, casting a warm, golden glow. The wooden floorboards creaked underfoot, adding to the charm of the old building. One day, as she was organizing a shelf, the bell above the door chimed. In walked Jack, drenched from the rain, looking for shelter. He spotted a cozy nook by the window and made his way towards it, dripping water along the way. His soaked clothes clung to him, and his hair was plastered to his forehead. Emma, noticing the puddle, quickly fetched a towel and handed it to him with a warm smile. "You look like you could use this," she said, her voice soothing and kind. "Thank you," Jack replied, drying himself off. "I didn't expect the weather to turn so suddenly." Emma laughed, her eyes twinkling. "New York weather is unpredictable. Can I get you something warm to drink?" Jack nodded, grateful. "A coffee would be perfect. Thank you. Double quotes. As Emma prepared the coffee behind the wooden counter, Jack wandered through the shop, admiring the vast collection of books. He picked up a leather-bound poetry book and started flipping through the pages. When Emma returned with the coffee, she noticed the book in his hand. "That's one of my favorites," she said, handing him the cup. "I'm Emma, by the way, Jack," he introduced himself with a warm smile. "It's a beautiful shop you have here." They spent the next hour talking about books, architecture, and their love for the city. The rain outside continued to pour, but inside, a connection was forming. Jack found himself visiting the Cozy Corner more often, each time spending hours talking to Emma and exploring the treasures in her shop. He learned that Emma had inherited the bookshop from her grandmother, who had opened it in the 1950s. Emma had spent her childhood summers there, surrounded by books and stories. Growing closer, as the weeks passed, their bond grew stronger. They discovered shared interests and values, and their conversations became more personal and intimate. Jack would bring Emma coffee from his favorite cafe, and Emma would recommend books that she thought Jack would love. They often found themselves lost in deep discussions about their favorite authors, the latest architectural trends, and their dreams for the future. Emma introduced Jack to her love for poetry, often reading him her favorite verses as they sat in the bookshop after closing hours. Jack, in turn, shared his passion for architecture, taking Emma on tours of his favorite buildings in the city. They marveled at the intricate designs and the stories behind each structure. One evening, Jack took Emma to the top of a skyscraper he had helped design. As they looked out over the city, the lights twinkling below them, Emma felt an overwhelming sense of belonging. One evening, as they were closing up the shop, Jack nervously asked Emma out on a proper date. "Emma, would you like to have dinner with me tomorrow? There's this little Italian place I think you'd love." Emma's heart fluttered. "I'd love to, Jack." Their first date was magical. The Italian restaurant, La Bella Vita, was cozy and romantic, with dim lighting and soft music. They sat at a corner table, sharing stories about their childhoods, dreams, and aspirations. Emma told Jack about her dream of writing a poetry book one day, and Jack shared his ambition of designing a landmark building in the city. The evening ended with a gentle kiss under the stars, sealing the beginning of their love story, adventures, and challenges. As their relationship blossomed, Emma and Jack embarked on numerous adventures together. They explored the hidden gems of New York City, from quiet parks to bustling markets. Weekends were often spent visiting art galleries, attending poetry readings, or simply enjoying a leisurely walk along the Hudson River. They discovered a mutual love for cooking, and often spent evenings experimenting with new recipes, turning their meals into mini adventures. One summer, they decided to take a road trip to the countryside. They rented a charming cottage in the Catskills, spending their days hiking through scenic trails and their nights stargazing. It was during this trip, while lying on a blanket under a sky full of stars, that Jack realized he had found his soulmate. They talked about their future together, imagining a life filled with love, laughter, and endless possibilities. They visited local farmers markets, picking fresh produce and cooking delicious meals together in the cottage's rustic kitchen. However, their journey was not without challenges. Emma's bookshop faced financial difficulties, and there were times when she feared she might have to close it down. Jack, ever supportive, helped her brainstorm ways to attract more customers. They organized book signings, poetry readings, and even started a book club. Slowly but surely, the cozy corner began to thrive again. Slowly but surely, the cozy corner began to thrive again. Jack's architectural firm also decided to sponsor a series of literary events at the bookshop, drawing in a new crowd. Jack's career as an architect also had its ups and downs. There were projects that fell through and deadlines that seemed impossible to meet. Emma's unwavering support and encouragement helped him navigate these stressful times. They were each other's pillars of strength, facing every challenge together. Jack often credited Emma's calming presence and wise words for helping him maintain his composure during critical moments at work. A love to last. Months turned into years, and Emma and Jack's love only grew stronger. They supported each other through thick and thin, finding joy in the simplest moments. Jack helped Emma expand her bookshop, and Emma inspired Jack's architectural designs with her love for literature and art. Emma's bookshop became a community hub, hosting local artists and writers, while Jack's architectural firm flourished, winning accolades for innovative designs. One sunny afternoon, Jack took Emma to the park where they had their first picnic. He had planned a special surprise. As they sat under their favorite tree, Jack pulled out a small box and got down on one knee. "Emma, from the moment I walked into your shop, my life has been filled with love and happiness. Will you marry me?" Tears of joy streamed down Emma's face as she nodded. "Yes, Jack, 1,000 times, yes." They were married in a beautiful ceremony surrounded by friends and family. Emma wore a vintage lace gown, and Jack looked dashing in a tailored suit. The reception was held at the Cozy Corner, the place where their love story began. It was decorated with fairy lights, flowers, and of course, books. Guests enjoyed homemade treats and listened to live music, creating an atmosphere of pure joy and celebration. Their love story continued to flourish, a testament to the serendipitous meeting on a rainy afternoon in New York. They celebrated their milestones with as much joy and enthusiasm as they did their everyday moments. Whether it was a quiet evening at home, a new book release at the shop, or a successful architectural project, they cherished every experience together. Every year, on the anniversary of their first meeting, Jack and Emma would return to the park, have a picnic under their favorite tree, and reminisce about their journey. They also made it a tradition to visit a new bookstore or architectural landmark, combining their passions and celebrating their love. And so, Emma and Jack lived happily ever after, proving that love can be found in the most unexpected places.